Have you ever felt like you don't fit in, even when you're surrounded by people? Do you sometimes feel drained after being in a crowd, like your energy has been sucked away? If so, you might be what some call a chosen one in the spiritual world. Now, don't worry. This doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It just means you're different, and that's okay. In this video, we're going to talk about why these special people often feel the need to be alone, and why it's not a bad thing. It's actually a key part of who they are and how they connect with the world around them. Think back to when you were a kid. Did you ever feel like you were watching the world from the outside? Like you didn't quite get the rules everyone else seemed to know by heart? That's often how chosen ones feel, not just as kids, but throughout their lives. It's like everyone else got a rule book for life, but yours got lost in the mail. This feeling of being different isn't just in your head. It's a real part of who you are. Chosen ones aren't just regular folks who like their alone time. They're people who see the world in a unique way. They often notice things others miss, feel things more deeply, and think about stuff that most people never consider. It's like they're tuned into a different channel than everyone else, picking up signals that fly right past most people. But here's the thing. Being a chosen one isn't about being special in a show-off kind of way. It's not about being better than others or having superpowers. It's more like having a different set of tools to work with. While most people might have a hammer and screwdriver to deal with life, chosen ones have a Swiss Army knife with all sorts of gadgets. It's not better or worse, just different. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons why chosen ones often need their space. They're like energy sponges. Imagine you're a sponge, and every person around you is like a cup of water. When you're around people, you soak up their energy, their emotions, their vibes, everything. At first, it might feel great, like you're connected to everyone and everything. But after a while, you get heavy and waterlogged. That's what it's like for chosen ones in crowds. This sensitivity to energy isn't just about feelings. It's like chosen ones have an extra sense that picks up on all the invisible stuff floating around in the air between people. They might walk into a room and instantly know that there's tension between two people, even if everyone's smiling and being polite. They might feel overwhelmed in a shopping mall, not because of the noise or the crowds, but because of all the different energies bouncing around. It's like being a radio that picks up every station at once. While most people might tune into one or two channels at a time, chosen ones are bombarded with every station, every frequency, all at once. It can be beautiful and exciting, but it can also be exhausting and overwhelming. This is where the need for alone time comes in. For chosen ones, being alone isn't about being antisocial or not liking people. It's about finding a quiet space where they can turn down the volume on the world and hear their own thoughts again. It's like stepping out of a noisy party into a peaceful garden. Suddenly you can hear the birds singing and feel the breeze on your face. When chosen ones spend time alone, they're not just relaxing. They're recharging, resetting, and reconnecting with themselves. It's during these quiet moments that they often get their deepest insights and most creative ideas. It's like their mind needs the space to stretch out and explore without bumping into other people's thoughts and energies. This need for solitude can be hard for others to understand. In a world that often values being outgoing and social, someone who needs a lot of alone time might seem strange or even rude. But for chosen ones, it's not a choice. It's a necessity. It's like needing to sleep or eat. Without this time to themselves, they can't function properly in the world. But here's the important thing to remember. Just because chosen ones need time alone doesn't mean they don't value connections with others. In fact, when they do connect with people, these connections are often incredibly deep and meaningful. It's like they save up all their energy for these special interactions, pouring their whole selves into them. So if you're a chosen one, know that your need for solitude is valid and important. It's not something to feel guilty about or try to change. It's a vital part of who you are and how you process the world. And if you know someone who might be a chosen one, try to understand and respect their need for space. It doesn't mean they don't care about you. In fact, it might mean they care so much that they need time to process all the energy they absorb from being around you. Being a chosen one in a busy, crowded world can be challenging, but it's also a gift. The sensitivity that makes crowds overwhelming is the same sensitivity that allows for deep empathy, creative insights, and a profound connection to the world around us. It's not about being better or worse than others. It's about being uniquely you, with all the challenges and blessings that come with it. So the next time you feel the need to step away from the crowd, remember, it's not a flaw. It's not something to fix. It's a fundamental part of who you are, and it's something to embrace and honor. Your need for solitude is the flip side of your gift for deep connection and profound understanding. It's what allows you to be the unique, insightful, sensitive person you are. In a world that often values constant connection and social interaction, it can be easy to feel like there's something wrong with needing time alone. But the truth is, the world needs all kinds of people, those who thrive in crowds and those who find their strength in solitude. Chosen ones bring a unique perspective to the world, one that's often gained in those quiet moments of reflection and solitude. Think of it this way. In a noisy world full of people shouting to be heard, chosen ones are the ones listening. They're the ones who hear the whispers, who notice the things others miss. Their time alone isn't empty or wasted. It's filled with rich inner experiences, deep thoughts, and a connection to something bigger than themselves. This doesn't mean that chosen ones never enjoy being around others. Many chosen ones have rich social lives and deep, meaningful relationships. The difference is in how they approach these interactions and how they recover from them. While some people might feel energized after a big party, chosen ones often need time to process and recharge. It's like they experience everything more intensely, so they need more time to digest it all. One of the challenges for chosen ones is learning to balance their need for solitude with the demands of everyday life. In a world that often requires us to be around people, at work, at school, in social situations, it can be hard to find the alone time that's so necessary. This is where self-care becomes incredibly important. For chosen ones, self-care isn't just about bubble baths and chocolate, although those can be nice too. It's about creating boundaries, learning to say no when necessary, and carving out regular time for solitude. It might mean waking up a little earlier to have some quiet time before the day begins, or setting aside time each weekend for solo activities. It could be as simple as taking a walk alone during lunch break or finding a quiet corner to read a book. Learning to communicate this need to others is also crucial. Many chosen ones struggle with feeling guilty about their need for alone time, worried that they're letting others down or being antisocial. But the truth is, by taking care of their own needs, they're actually better able to show up fully for others when they do interact. It's also important for chosen ones to remember that their sensitivity is a gift, not a burden. Yes, it can make some situations challenging, but it also allows for a depth of experience and understanding that is truly special. Chosen ones often have a unique ability to empathize with others, to see beyond the surface and understand what's really going on. They can be incredible friends, partners, and colleagues because of their ability to truly listen and understand. This sensitivity also often comes with other gifts. Many chosen ones are highly creative, able to see connections and possibilities that others miss. They might be talented artists, writers, musicians, or innovators in their fields. Their alone time isn't just about recovering from social interaction. It's often where their best ideas and most profound insights come from. Chosen ones also often have a deep connection to nature and the spiritual world. Many find that spending time alone in nature is particularly rejuvenating. It's like the natural world speaks to them in a language they innately understand. This connection can be a source of great comfort and inspiration. But being a chosen one isn't always easy. In a world that often misunderstands their needs, chosen ones can sometimes feel isolated or out of place. They might struggle with feeling too much, too sensitive, too intense, too different. This is where finding like-minded individuals can be incredibly helpful. While chosen ones may not thrive in large groups, having a few close friends who understand and accept them can make all the difference. It's also common for chosen ones to go through periods of questioning themselves. They might wonder why they can't just be like everyone else, why they need so much alone time, why they feel things so intensely. This self-doubt can be painful, but it's also a natural part of the journey. Learning to accept and embrace their unique nature is a process, and it's okay if it takes time. One thing that can help chosen ones is to reframe their need for solitude. Instead of seeing it as a weakness or a problem, they can view it as a strength. Their alone time isn't about hiding from the world. It's about preparing to engage with it more fully. It's where they recharge their batteries, process their experiences, and tap into their deepest wisdom. When they emerge from their solitude, they bring with them insights and energy that can benefit everyone around them. It's also helpful for chosen ones to remember that they're not alone in their experiences. Throughout history, there have been many people who felt this same need for solitude, this same sensitivity to the world around them. Many great thinkers, artists, and spiritual leaders have spoken about the importance of solitude and the challenges of being different. Knowing this can help chosen ones feel less alone and more connected to a larger tradition of sensitive, thoughtful individuals. For those who love or work with chosen ones, understanding their needs can greatly improve relationships. It's important to remember that a chosen one's need for alone time isn't a rejection of others. It's simply a necessary part of their self-care. By respecting this need and not taking it personally, you can help create an environment where the chosen one feels safe and understood. In fact, many people find that their relationships with chosen ones are particularly deep and meaningful. Because chosen ones often think deeply about things and feel emotions intensely, they can offer unique perspectives and a level of understanding that's truly special. They might not always be the life of the party, but they're often the ones you turn to when you need a listening ear or a thoughtful perspective on a problem. It's also worth noting that the traits of a chosen one exist on a spectrum. Some people might resonate strongly with all of these characteristics, while others might only experience some of them, or to a lesser degree. There's no one-size-fits-all definition, and it's not about fitting into a box. It's about understanding yourself and your needs, whatever they may be. For chosen ones, one of the most important things to remember is that it's okay to be different. In a world that often pressures us to conform, to be constantly connected and social, it can take courage to honor your need for solitude. But by doing so, you're not just taking care of yourself. You're also honoring the unique gifts you bring to the world. These gifts, sensitivity, deep thinking, creativity, empathy, are needed now more than ever. In a world that often feels chaotic and disconnected, chosen ones offer a different way of being. They remind us to slow down, to listen more deeply, to consider things from multiple perspectives. They show us the value of inner reflection and the power of genuine, heartfelt connections. So if you're a chosen one, know that your need for solitude isn't a flaw to be fixed. It's an integral part of who you are, a key to accessing your unique gifts and insights. Your sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's a strength that allows you to experience the world in all its richness and complexity. Your need for alone time isn't selfish. It's a necessary part of how you recharge and prepare to engage fully with the world. And if you're not a chosen one yourself, but know someone who might be, try to approach them with understanding and respect. Remember that their need for space isn't about you. It's about them honoring their own needs and nature. By supporting them in this, you're helping them be the best version of themselves. In the end, the world needs all kinds of people. We need those who thrive in the spotlight and those who find their strength in solitude. We need those who speak loudly and those who listen deeply. We need those who move fast and those who take time to reflect. Chosen ones, with their unique perspective and gifts, play a vital role in the tapestry of human experience. So the next time you feel the need to step away from the crowd, to find a quiet space where you can hear your own thoughts, remember, this isn't something to feel guilty about. It's not a sign that there's something wrong with you. It's a sign that you're in touch with your own needs, that you're honoring your unique nature. It's a reminder of the special role you play in the world. Being a chosen one comes with its challenges, but it also comes with profound gifts. The sensitivity that can make crowds overwhelming is the same sensitivity that allows for deep empathy and understanding. The need for solitude that can sometimes feel isolating is also the source of deep creativity and insight. The feeling of being different that can sometimes be painful is also what allows chosen ones to offer unique perspectives and solutions. In a world that often values extroversion and constant connectivity, chosen ones remind us of the power of introspection, of deep thinking, of taking the time to truly listen and observe. They show us that there's more than one way to be in the world, more than one way to connect and contribute. So if you're a chosen one, Embrace your nature. Honor your need for solitude. Recognize the value of your sensitivity and your unique perspective. Know that by taking care of yourself, by honoring your needs, you're better able to share your gifts with the world. And remember, you're not alone. There are others out there who understand, who share your experiences, who value the unique qualities you bring to the world. And for everyone else, remember that the world is richer for its diversity. The next time you encounter someone who seems to need more space, who feels things deeply, who sees the world a little differently, consider that you might be in the presence of a chosen one. Offer understanding, respect their needs, and appreciate the unique perspective they bring. In doing so, you're not just supporting them. You're helping to create a world that's more understanding, more diverse, and ultimately more whole. The journey of a chosen one isn't always easy, but it's deeply rewarding. It's a journey of self-discovery, of learning to honor your own nature even when it goes against the grain. It's a journey of finding balance, of learning how to be in the world without losing touch with your inner self. It's a journey of uncovering and sharing your unique gifts, of making a difference in ways that only you can. So to all the chosen ones out there, those who feel deeply, who need their space, who see the world a little differently, know that you are valued. Your sensitivity is a gift. Your need for solitude is valid. Your unique perspective is needed. You may not always feel like you fit in, but you have an important role to play in the world. Embrace who you are, honor your needs, and know that by being true to yourself, you're making the world a richer, more diverse, more understanding place. The energy sensitivity. Let's dive deeper into why chosen ones often feel overwhelmed in crowded places. It's not just about being shy or not liking noise. It's about energy. Imagine you have an invisible antenna that picks up on everything around you, not just what you can see and hear, but also what people are feeling and thinking. That's what it's like for chosen ones. When a chosen one walks into a room full of people, it's like they're suddenly hit with a tidal wave of information. They might feel the excitement of someone who just got good news, the stress of someone worried about work, the sadness of someone going through a tough time, all at once. It's like being able to hear everyone's thoughts and feel everyone's feelings, even when no one is saying a word. This ability to pick up on energy can be both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it allows chosen ones to be incredibly empathetic and understanding. They often know exactly what someone needs, even before that person realizes it themselves. They can sense when something's wrong, even if everyone is pretending everything is fine. This makes them great friends, excellent listeners, and often the person people turn to when they need support. But on the other hand, this sensitivity can be exhausting. Imagine trying to have a conversation with one person while 100 other people are shouting in your ears. That's what it can feel like for a chosen one in a crowded place. All that energy, all those emotions, all those unspoken thoughts, it can be overwhelming, like trying to drink from a fire hose. This is why chosen ones often need time alone after being in social situations. It's not that they didn't enjoy themselves or that they don't like the people they were with. It's that they need time to process all the energy they absorbed, to sort through all the information they picked up. It's like needing to empty out a full glass before you can fill it up again. This sensitivity to energy isn't something chosen ones can just turn off. It's a part of who they are, as natural as breathing. But they can learn to manage it. Some chosen ones use visualization techniques, imagining a protective bubble around themselves that filters out some of the energy. Others practice grounding exercises, connecting with the earth to help balance out all the energy they're picking up. And of course, taking regular breaks to be alone is crucial. It's important to understand that this sensitivity isn't about being weak or fragile. In fact, it takes a lot of strength to handle all this energy. Chosen ones are like spiritual athletes, constantly training to manage the intense energies they encounter. It's a skill that takes time and practice to develop, but it's also what allows them to have such deep insights and connections. Now, let's talk about why chosen ones need so much alone time. For many people, being alone is something they do when they have nothing else to do. But for chosen ones, solitude is as essential as food or sleep. It's not just about having nothing to do, it's about having the space to be fully themselves. When a chosen one is alone, it's like they can finally take a deep breath. All the energy they've been absorbing from others fades away, and they can tune into their own energy, their own thoughts and feelings. It's in these quiet moments that they often have their deepest insights and most creative ideas. Solitude for a chosen one isn't about being lonely or isolated. In fact, many chosen ones feel more connected to the world and to themselves when they're alone. It's like they can hear the whispers of the universe more clearly, without all the noise of other people's energies drowning it out. This alone time is when chosen ones recharge their batteries. It's when they process all the information and energy they've absorbed from others. It's when they can reflect on their experiences and gain new understanding. Without this time, they can start to feel drained, confused, and overwhelmed. But it's not just about recovery. Solitude is also when chosen ones do some of their best work. Many chosen ones are highly creative, and their alone time is when they can fully tap into that creativity. Writers, artists, musicians, inventors, many of the world's most creative people have been those who valued their solitude. It's also during these quiet times that chosen ones often feel most connected to their spiritual side. Whether they're meditating, praying, or simply sitting quietly in nature, this alone time allows them to connect with something larger than themselves. It's when they can hear their inner wisdom most clearly. Of course, this need for solitude can be hard for others to understand. In a world that often values constant connection and social interaction, someone who needs a lot of alone time might seem strange or even antisocial. But it's important to remember that for chosen ones, this isn't a choice. It's a necessity. It's how they stay balanced and healthy. One of the biggest challenges chosen ones face is being misunderstood by others. Because their needs are different from what's considered normal in our society, they often face judgment or criticism for their behavior. For example, a chosen one might leave a party early because they're feeling overwhelmed by all the energy. To others, this might look like they're being rude or that they didn't enjoy themselves. In reality, the chosen one might have had a great time, but simply reached their limit for social interaction. Or a chosen one might turn down invitations to social events, preferring to spend time alone. To others, this might look like the chosen one is antisocial or doesn't like them. In truth, the chosen one might value their relationships deeply, but also know that they need alone time to be their best selves. These misunderstandings can lead to hurt feelings and damaged relationships. Chosen ones often find themselves having to explain their needs over and over again, which can be exhausting. They might feel guilty for needing alone time, or try to push themselves to be more social than is healthy for them. This is why it's so important for chosen ones to understand and accept themselves. When you know that your need for solitude is valid and important, it's easier to explain it to others. It's also easier to set boundaries and stick to them, even when others don't understand. For those who have chosen ones in their lives, friends, family members, co-workers, it's important to try to understand and respect their needs. Remember that a chosen one's need for alone time isn't a rejection of you. It's not that they don't enjoy your company or value your relationship. It's simply that they need time to recharge and process in order to be their best selves. If you're close to a chosen one, talk to them about their needs. Ask them what overwhelms them and what helps them feel recharged. By showing that you're trying to understand, you can help the chosen one feel accepted and supported. It's also important to remember that chosen ones often form deep, meaningful connections with others. They might not be the most outgoing or socially active people, but when they do connect, it's often in a very profound way. They're often great listeners, deep thinkers, and loyal friends. Their sensitivity, which can make crowds overwhelming, also allows them to be incredibly empathetic and understanding in one-on-one relationships. In the end, understanding and accepting chosen ones for who they are benefits everyone. Chosen ones are able to be their best selves, sharing their unique gifts and perspectives with the world, and those around them get to experience the depth of connection and insight that chosen ones can offer when they're balanced and thriving. It's about creating a world where different ways of being are understood and valued, where we recognize that there's not just one right way to interact with the world, but many, where sensitivity is seen as a strength, not a weakness, where the need for solitude is respected, not judged. For chosen ones, knowing that they're understood and accepted can make a world of difference. It allows them to stop fighting against their nature and start embracing it, to stop feeling guilty about their needs and start honoring them, to stop trying to fit into a mold that doesn't suit them and start being authentically themselves. And for everyone else, understanding chosen ones can open up a new way of seeing the world. It can help us all become more empathetic, more aware of the different ways people experience the world. It can remind us of the value of quiet reflection, of deep thinking, of taking the time to truly listen and observe. In a world that often feels noisy and chaotic, chosen ones remind us of the power of stillness and sensitivity. They show us that there's more than one way to be strong, more than one way to connect, more than one way to make a difference in the world. So if you're a chosen one, know that your need for solitude is valid and important. Your sensitivity is a gift, even when it feels overwhelming. Your unique way of being in the world is valuable and needed. And if you know a chosen one, try to understand and support them. Respect their need for space, appreciate their depth of feeling, and recognize the unique perspective they bring to the world. By creating a world that understands and values chosen ones, we create a world that's richer, more diverse, and more balanced. a world where sensitivity and strength go hand in hand, where solitude is as valued as social connection, where deep thinking and feeling are recognized as the powerful forces they are. Remember, it's not about being better or worse than others. It's about recognizing and honoring the beautiful diversity of human experience. Chosen ones, with their sensitivity and need for solitude, play a vital role in the tapestry of humanity. Their voices, their insights, their way of being in the world, all of these are important threads in the grand design of life. So let's embrace the chosen ones among us. Let's create space for solitude and sensitivity. Let's recognize the strength it takes to feel deeply in an often chaotic world. And let's appreciate the unique gifts that chosen ones bring to our lives and to our world. While chosen ones may need more time alone, when they do connect with others, these connections are often incredibly deep and meaningful. It's like they save up all their energy for these special interactions, pouring their whole selves into them. This ability to form deep connections is one of the most beautiful gifts of being a chosen one. When a chosen one connects with someone, it's not just surface-level small talk. They have the ability to see beyond the masks people wear and connect with the true essence of a person. It's like they can see straight into someone's soul, understanding their deepest fears, hopes, and dreams. This depth of connection comes from their heightened sensitivity. The same sensitivity that can make crowds overwhelming allows chosen ones to pick up on subtle cues that others might miss. They can often sense what someone is feeling, even if that person isn't expressing it outwardly. This makes them incredible listeners and empathetic friends. Chosen ones often find that they don't need a large circle of friends. Instead, they prefer to have a few very close, deep relationships. These relationships are characterized by trust, understanding, and a level of intimacy that goes beyond the ordinary. When you're friends with a chosen one, you often feel truly seen and understood in a way you might not have experienced before. This gift for deep connection extends beyond just friendships. In romantic relationships, chosen ones often make incredibly attentive and loving partners. They can create a sense of intimacy and understanding that feels almost magical. In professional relationships, they can be the colleagues who always seem to know when something's wrong, or the leaders who have an uncanny ability to bring out the best in their team. However, this ability to form deep connections can also be challenging. Chosen ones might find themselves taking on the emotions of those they're close to, feeling others' pain as if it were their own. They might also struggle with feeling overwhelmed by the intensity of these connections, needing time alone to process and recharge. It's important for chosen ones to learn to balance their gift for connection with their need for solitude. This might mean setting clear boundaries, learning to say no when they need time alone, and making sure they have plenty of time to recharge between social interactions. For those lucky enough to have a chosen one in their life, it's important to appreciate the depth of connection they offer. Understand that when a chosen one shares their time and energy with you, it's a precious gift. Respect their need for space, and know that when they do connect, it comes from a place of genuine care and deep understanding. Living in today's fast-paced, constantly connected world can be challenging for chosen ones. The constant stimulation, the pressure to always be available, the noise and energy of crowded cities, all of these can be overwhelming for someone with heightened sensitivity. but there are ways for chosen ones to cope and thrive, even in this busy world. One of the most important skills for chosen ones to develop is the ability to create their own sanctuary no matter where they are. This might mean finding quiet spots in nature, like a secluded park or a peaceful beach. It might mean creating a cozy, calming space at home where they can retreat when they need to recharge. Some chosen ones even learn to create a mental sanctuary using meditation or visualization techniques to find inner calm even in chaotic environments. Learning to set boundaries is another crucial skill. This means being able to say no to social invitations when you need time alone without feeling guilty. It means communicating your needs clearly to friends, family, and colleagues. For example, a chosen one might explain to their friends that they love spending time together, but need a day or two to recharge after social events. Chosen ones can also benefit from developing a toolkit of coping strategies for when they feel overwhelmed. This might include breathing exercises, grounding techniques, or even simple things like listening to calming music or carrying a small object that helps them feel centered. In the workplace, chosen ones might need to advocate for themselves to create an environment where they can thrive. This could mean asking for a quieter workspace, negotiating for some work-from-home days, or simply explaining to colleagues that they prefer to eat lunch alone sometimes to recharge. It's also important for chosen ones to make self-care a priority. This isn't selfish. It's necessary for them to be able to function at their best and share their gifts with the world. Self-care might include regular time in nature, creative pursuits, spiritual practices, or whatever helps them feel balanced and centered. Understanding the purpose of chosen ones can help both the chosen ones themselves and those around them appreciate their unique gifts. Chosen ones aren't just sensitive people who need a lot of alone time. They play a vital role in our world. Chosen ones often serve as bridges between the seen and unseen, the physical and the spiritual. Their sensitivity allows them to pick up on subtle energies and insights that others might miss. They're often the ones who can sense when something's not right, even if everything looks fine on the surface. This makes them valuable in all sorts of situations, from personal relationships to professional environments. Many chosen ones find themselves drawn to helping professions. They might become therapists, healers, teachers, or spiritual leaders. Their ability to deeply understand and empathize with others makes them naturally good at these roles. They can often help people in ways that go beyond just practical advice, touching on deeper, soul-level healing. Chosen ones also often play the role of visionaries and innovators. Their unique perspective allows them to see possibilities that others might miss. Many great artists, writers, and inventors throughout history have likely been chosen ones, using their sensitivity and insights to create works that touch people deeply or solve problems in new ways. In our fast-paced, often superficial world, chosen ones remind us of the importance of depth, reflection, and genuine connection. They show us that there's more to life than what we can see on the surface. They encourage us to slow down, to listen more deeply, to consider the unseen aspects of life. Chosen ones also often serve as guardians of empathy and compassion. In a world that can sometimes seem harsh and uncaring, they remind us of the importance of kindness and understanding. Their ability to deeply feel and understand others' pain can inspire greater compassion in those around them. If you're not a chosen one yourself, but have one in your life, whether it's a friend, family member, partner, or colleague, understanding their nature can greatly improve your relationship with them. Here are some key things to keep in mind. Respect their need for solitude. If a chosen one needs time alone, it's not a rejection of you. It's simply how they recharge and stay balanced. By respecting this need, you're helping them be their best selves. Appreciate the depth they bring to your relationship. When a chosen one shares their time and energy with you, it's a precious gift. They may not be the most outgoing or always available friend, but when they connect with you, it's likely to be deep and meaningful. Be patient with their sensitivity. What might seem like an overreaction to you could be a genuine experience of overwhelm for them. Try to understand that they experience the world differently, and what's easy for you might be challenging for them. Value their insights. Chosen ones often have unique perspectives and deep insights. Even if you don't always understand or agree with their point of view, try to be open to it. They might see things that others miss. Communicate openly. If you're unsure about something, ask. Most chosen ones appreciate honest, open communication. They'd rather you ask about their needs than make assumptions. Remember that they're not trying to be difficult. Their needs and behaviors come from their core nature, not from a desire to be difficult or high maintenance. By understanding and supporting the chosen ones in your life, you're not just helping them. You're also opening yourself up to a deeper, richer way of experiencing relationships and the world. Being a chosen one, or loving someone who is, comes with its unique set of challenges and beautiful gifts. In a world that often values extroversion and constant connectivity, chosen ones remind us of the power of introspection, deep feeling, and genuine connection. For chosen ones, the journey is about learning to embrace their sensitivity and need for solitude as strengths rather than weaknesses. It's about finding ways to honor their needs while still engaging with the world. It's about recognizing the valuable role they play in bringing depth, insight, and compassion to our often chaotic world. For those who aren't chosen ones, understanding and supporting the chosen ones in your life can open up new depths of relationship and new ways of seeing the world. It's an opportunity to appreciate a different way of being, to value sensitivity and depth alongside other strengths. Ultimately, the world needs both those who thrive in the spotlight and those who find their power in solitude. We need those who move fast and those who take time to reflect deeply. We need those who speak loudly and those who listen deeply. Chosen ones, with their unique gifts of sensitivity, deep connection, and profound insight, play a vital role in the beautiful tapestry of human experience. So whether you're a chosen one learning to navigate the world or someone trying to understand a chosen one in your life, remember this: there's beauty and strength in sensitivity. There's power in solitude. And in a world that often feels disconnected, the depth of connection that chosen ones offer is truly precious. Embrace your nature if you're a chosen one, and appreciate the chosen ones in your life if you're not. Together, we create a richer, more compassionate, more insightful world, a world that honors all ways of being and recognizes the unique gifts each of us brings to the table.